Hi, Nikki here, Director of Dance Like a Mother and Sling a Baby Consultant. So I'm going to show you quite an in-depth version of how to fit a buckle carrier, and I'm going to do a cross strap. So I'm going to use the Integra carrier for this demo today. So the first thing I'm going to do is pick up my baby. This is Chi-Chi, my baby. So the first thing we're going to do is just make sure that we can figure out where the carrier needs to fit on our body. What happens a lot is that people get the carrier too low and then baby isn't high enough and it's quite unsafe for baby and it's uncomfortable. So we're just going to check first of all. So I'm going to take baby into a central position. If baby is quite new to being worn in a carrier as well, it's a good idea to pop them into this position and just sway gently side to side, just get them used to being in this position. So as you can see, I've got my baby with knees higher than bottom, back nice and straight and hands tucked in, and I can see my baby's face. And as you can see, the bottom of my baby is sort of landing about here. So I know that this is probably a good place for my carrier to go. So the waistband's going to go quite high for this baby. The tinier your baby is, the higher it will go. The longer your baby is and the bigger, the lower it will go. So I'm going to get my carrier. Always check as well with your carrier that when you take them out that the straps are okay, the buckles aren't snapped and the webbing's okay. It's just a good idea to check that there aren't any faults or issues on it before you put it on. So I'm going to take it like a pinny. So as you can see, the label's facing outwards. I'm going to place it round the waist nice and high, and I'm going to click it at the back and tighten in a central position. And I want it quite tight. I want to be able to sort of fit my finger in between, but it's nice and firm and it's nice and central on my body. Then I'm going to make sure that the straps, that the buckle is quite long towards the end, but there's enough to grab the other side with. And same on the other side. The Integra also has quite a little nifty thing, which is that you can also pull the other way, pull forward. So you can also make sure that the buckles are a little bit further forward there. And that's really good if you've got carpal tunnel or any issues with your wrists. So I've now got my carrier on. I'm going to pick my baby up again. Come on, Chi-Chi. Okay, so it's really important you take your time to get baby into a really good position. The more that you do this, the easier it's going to be long term. So I'm going to get my baby nice and central. Her head is rested on the hard part of my chest, so nice and high. And I'm just going to support her with one hand, and then with the other arm, I'm just going to scooch her knees higher than her bum. So it's a bit like if you're putting your baby on your hip, but in a more central position, and her hands are facing in. If your baby is quite tiny, you will need the accessory strap, which is this here. I've also done a little mini video to go alongside this to show you how to use the accessory strap, so you can have a little look at that as well. But for this purpose, we're just going to do it without the accessory strap. So I'm making sure baby's nice and central, knees are higher than bottom, back's nice and straight, hands are in, head's nice and high, and I can see that she's okay for here. And I'm just taking my time to just ease her gently into it, not rush her, and just take my time. Then supporting her with one arm, so I've got hold of her, I've got her knees higher than her bum, so she's nice and supported here. I'm going to take my hand and run it underneath the bottom of the carrier, and I'm just drawing up her back nice and slowly. And I'm just making sure now that she's sitting nice and comfortably in there, so you can see a knee is landing here at the end, so she's knee to knee, which means that the carrier sits on baby's pit of the knee here. She's sat on her bottom, so the weight's on her bottom. I'm not pulling her up high, I'm just letting her sit in it. And I'm going to place the straps on my shoulder. I'm going to keep them away from my neck, so it's nice and comfortable. Supporting my baby with this arm. I'm going to take my left arm round and grab the one on the right hand side. I'm using again this arm as a support, so baby is supported on her bottom because the weight of the carrier's got her, and I've got her back. And then I clip into here. And I'm going to either pull back or forward, whichever way I want. And I'm not doing it too tight, but just enough so she's supported, and I'll do the same on the other side. So supporting her back, I'm going to take my other arm round and grab the other side and clip in and pull back. So I've now got her in the carrier. The first thing I want to do is check that she can breathe and that there's space for her to breathe. So she's nice and high. I can see her face just by glancing down. Nothing's covering her, so I know that she's nice and her airways are nice and open. The second thing is, can I be hands-free? Jazz hands! Okay, if your hand's free, you know the baby's not going anywhere. We just need to get it nice and tight and snug now. So the first thing I want to do is check baby's positioning before we do that. So we're going to start by checking that the baby's knee to knee. It's a really good idea to have a mirror. That can really help. And you're just going to check, as you can see, I'll come a little bit closer, that baby is knee to knee. So that means that the carrier fits here. And if you've got the accessory strap or your carrier maybe cinches in, then that's where you're wanting to aim. So baby's knee to knee. If baby is a little bit lopsided, you can just put your hands on baby's thighs and sort of the start of baby's bottom. And you're just going to lift baby up and scooch baby over left or right to get in a nice central position. Then we do a pelvic tuck. So that just makes sure that baby's sat on her bottom, that she's in a really comfortable position and her hips and her spine are well supported. So I'm going to take my hands on her thighs and it's like we're tipping 2 glasses of water away. So I do it to the side to show you. I'm going to grab her thighs and again just slightly under her bottom and I'm going to go forward. I'm going to tilt her forward. Another way you can do it is grab hold of baby, support baby, lean forward and do it one hand at a time that way. Okay, so she's knee to knee. There we go, she's got a pelvic tilt. Her back's nice and supported, so that means that the carrier's nice and smooth against her back. She's not slumped down, she's nice and straight. I do want her a bit tighter, but we're going to do that in a second. Her hands are up, so she's not like she's in a straight jacket. So making sure her hands are up and she can grab them and chew them if she wants to. And then finally that the carrier is on the nape of baby's neck. So it should be resting here on the nape of baby's neck. If it's too high, it's not supporting and you won't be able to see baby's face. If it's too low, again, it won't be supporting baby. If you've got a toddler and they're moving about and they want to stick their arms out, that's absolutely fine. Just make sure it doesn't go any lower than armpit height. If they do fall asleep though, you'll just need to make sure you've got a little bit more support on their neck. So it's on the nape of baby's neck. And again, another way to do that is you can grab the fabric and just pull it up and just double check that you've got all the fabric from underneath. And now we're going to tighten it up. So I'm going to lift baby up, get her nice and close to me. And as you can see, these have already loosened against my body. So I'm going to take the right one in my hand and I'm going to hold it where I want it, away from my neck. And then it creates some loosening here towards a buckle. And then I'm just going to slowly tighten the buckle. And as you can see, I'm pulling it in the direction of the webbing. A lot of people pull upwards and outwards and down. You're just pulling it in the direction nice and slowly. And if it's quite a new carrier, this may take a bit of time to get softened up. Then we're going to do the other side. So the left hand, bringing it down. You want to bring it nice and low here and tighten it. And now I'm just going to check for my comfort as well. So is it up around my neck? If it's up around my neck, I want to loosen it again and bring it away. And the way you do that is bring it away from your neck, bring it down low. I'm going to say back fat. We've all got it. So it's going to go under your back fat. See, it's helpful. And then we're going to tighten it. So it's away from your neck, it's not pulling. And as you can see at the back, it's crossing nice and low, sort of where my bra strap is. If you're a bra wearer, then it's going to cross there, like so. Okay, so baby's safe, knee to knee, pelvic tilt, back nice and straight. Her hands are up and her neck supported. And I can see her and she can breathe and she's safe, she's nice and high. I am okay because I'm hands free. It's not pulling on my neck, it's not pulling on my lower back, it's nice and secure and she's nice and close. You want the carrier tight enough that if you give her a cuddle, or him, or them, wrong gender, if you give them a cuddle, then they're not moving, they're nice and close against your body, but you should be able to fit your hand between you and baby. And you'll feel baby breathing against your body as well. And again, at any point, if baby's feeling a bit anxious and crying, it can be very, very normal at the beginning for babies to feel a bit anxious and normal. As long as you stay nice and relaxed, nice slow breathing, take your time, swaying side to side, try not to bounce, just sway, that can really help. And then the final thing we're going to do, this is something that we do in our classes just to provide a little bit of extra neck support. It was going to roll the hood. So we call it a little neck sausage. So it's not bacon, it's sausage. It's a nice and tight little sausage there. And as you can see, it's providing a little bit of extra support. And then these pieces we just clip in. So you can use this as a rain hood as well if you want to. Just try and be aware that you can see baby at all times. If you are coming to our classes, we ask you not to put the hood over baby's head, just because baby can overheat and we want you to be able to check that they're okay. And there you go. If at any point it doesn't feel right, the best thing to do is loosen it, lift and tighten. And that is how you get a nice fit on the carrier. The Integra as well have these little, and some of the other ones do as well now, have these little elasticated pieces, which if you roll those up, you can use the elastic, she says, fiddly, to get them out of the way like this. And that is how we fit a cross-strap carrier using an Integra. This is a quick demo of how to use an accessory strap. So these are the straps that you sometimes get as an extra with your carrier. Don't lose them. They're like unicorn poo. Keep hold of them. Okay. So the accessory strap is this. Beep, boop. Okay. Make a noise. I make a noise. And then we're going to put the carrier on as before. You're going to take the accessory strap. The buckle is going to face away from baby, so it's not rubbing on baby, so it's going to go close to you. So underneath, clip together. And at this point, it's just gauging how wide. So this needs to go knee to knee for baby, so it might just take a bit of playing with. And you want to make sure it goes nice and high. The higher you have it, the better it's going to work. Like this. And as you can see, it's cinched it in, it's made it smaller to fit your baby better. I'm going to get my baby. Get baby into a nice central position, knees high on the bum. And then draw up. And then you should find that the carrier is fitting baby knee to knee on here. And then if you need to make it wider, you can make it wider to adjust. And that's how you use your accessory strap.